Remember in the last video about having to be more assertive when playing shorter tables, like the 6-seeded sit and go tournaments? Well, when you get down to the last two players, heads up, your game must change even more radically compared to the early stages of a tournament. In fact, when playing heads up, you will be playing and even raising most of your hands no matter how weak they may look at first glance. In spite of that, however, in this hand where I'm holding queens, I am looking to lure my opponent into a pot since he has been raising almost every hand. I decided to limp here hoping he raises again. His profile suggests that he will, as he has been playing rather foolishly and actually got lucky several times while eliminating all of the other opponents at the table. In addition, two hands previous to this, he doubled me up holding King 8 suited to my pocket jacks. Now with just us two left, we are both in the money. My opponent checks, so that plan did not work out so well. We both see the flop of 3 of spades, 5 of hearts, 7 of clubs. My opponent bets out, and given his profile, that is certainly expected. I could re-raise here now, but I could also flat call. If he did make a pair, I would like to keep him in the pot right now with the intention of check-raising him on the turn where the stakes are higher and I am likely to get him to commit to a big error. So I call and the pot is now 400. Here is the turn, the 10 of spades. Since I am basically slow playing, it's hard to know if any card has actually hit my opponent, but the 10 is likely neutral. This is really a hand where I am assuming I will be the best all the way to the river. My opponent bets out again, another 100 chips. Based on his profile, and now betting the minimum, there's a fair chance he has nothing here, but at most one pair. Now is the time to get more out of him, so I re-raise to 500, making the pot 1,000. My opponent calls, and the pot is now 1,400. Most players would not call my re-raise here without at least a pair, and even for his profile it would be rather remarkable for him to be calling with nothing here. I should now be thinking this flop did in fact hit his hand. The river is the 5 of diamonds which pairs the board. My opponent pauses and then goes all in. He is certainly representing that 5 helped him, and if it did, then I am beat. Now, if I was him and I had a 5 in my hand, I would also shove all in. However, since this opponent is capable of many things, including bluffing, I have to take other things into account, not the least of which he has shown little concern in past hands for anything I might be holding, choosing only to bet and bluff with seemingly little control. My hunch here is that is the case, or at least that's what I want to believe. Let's take a closer look at the board, though. Since we are both in the hand still, I must discount his bluffing here. So that means he hit something on the flop, and then to call my re-raise on the turn was basically showing that he was waiting for something to improve. Had he flopped 2 pair, holding 7-3, I believe he would have bet more on the turn or re-raised all in. If he only had a 3, that would not really warrant a shove here on the river, as I showed strength on the turn. It is possible that he is thinking the 5 could not have helped me, and so now he is pushing with something like Ace 7 or King 7. However, the most likely scenario to me is that he does hold a 5 in his hand, and therefore, given the moderate amount I have committed to this pot and my healthy stack size, I think these queens are actually a fold now. Unfortunately, my lack of patience with this player induced me to make a silly and costly call on the river. My opponent turns over 5-4 offsuit and eliminates me a few hands later for a second place finish. This is a critical lesson in taking enough time to assess the facts, not your emotions toward your opponent. Given his skill level, I certainly stood a better chance of winning this tournament by outplaying him in later hands, of which there were many to come with the blinds still being relatively low. Yes, it's true, even bad players can make good plays sometimes. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more sit and go strategy videos, visit the Poker School at PattyPowerPoker.com.